Hey everybody, we are here for a special episode of Mix Wednesday where we want to talk about, that's not going to go over well. Let's start again. Hey everybody, so I dropped a question into the Facebook group, I want to say about a week ago. I said, name the last thing you learned that drastically changed your mixing game for the better. And we had a lot of responses, about 100 and, what was it, 6 or 3 responses. And honestly, looking at that post, it really showed me how much you guys are learning on your own, and how much possibly we're helping you learn, or how much you guys are seeking out to be better. So in kind of light of that, Ryan, Kenny, and I were going to kind of tell you what our mixing resolutions are for 2017. Personally, my mixing resolutions for 2017 are going to be to schedule time to mix more and be more disciplined about when I mix and how long I mix. We kind of talked about this in other videos, and for me, I always find myself, it's either an impulse thing where I'm like, oh, I got to get something done last minute, or, oh, I forgot to do something, so now I have to make time doing this last minute. It's always a last minute thing for me. I'm so impulsive and emotional about it. And now I'm thinking a disciplined approach to scheduling out my mixing time. This is when I'm going to mix, this is when I'm going to stop mixing, and this is how much I'm going to mix. Going to vastly improve the amount of time I spend mixing, develop my ears, and I think ultimately make me a better mixer, because you don't really get better at mixing by not mixing,
right,
you know?
Right.
So I'm kind of develop a schedule for myself. I think our last video kind of influenced that a bit too, when Kenny was talking about scheduling free time. That was a really good point he made. But yeah, that's kind of what I think my goal for 2017 is, for sure.
Yeah, Kenny, the moment you said that, I actually started scheduling in all sorts of things that I've been kind of meaning to get done and just haven't been getting done. And I actually started scheduling my mixing time.
Nice.
Immediately after that.
So good.
This is exactly what you're talking about, Dan, but I actually just started doing it immediately after you brought that up, Kenny. It was awesome.
Wow, I feel like
That's
I've made
dope.
a difference in the world.
You made a difference, yeah.
You made a difference.
Making a difference
saving
every day.
starving children and shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, you basically are. So Kenny, what's your mixing resolution for 2017?
Well, I have a lot of time management things that I want to improve on as well. But what I've been thinking about is I have these 2 control surfaces. So it's 16 faders, and I don't use them all that much. They're pretty. I like to see them move, and I like to turn a thing or two up and down. But I guess what I want to do is use those a lot more, and the mouse, or trackball in my case, a lot less. I think it'll help me make wiser decisions and trust my ear when I decision making in volume automation and even plug-in automation. I think the more that I use tactile faders, the more natural I approach mixing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And also, I think it'll help me to put just all sorts of things onto faders. Like, I saw someone who's well established. The guitarist was tracking, and he had some effect that he wanted, and he went through like 4 or 5 clicks to turn it on and off to see what he felt more comfortable with while tracking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could just have that
and hit mute
on. Yeah, have that on another track, hit mute, or just blend it in. However is tasty. So things like that. I can use a fader to control the amount of attack and sustain in a snare drum. Things like that you wouldn't think of.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about exactly that, like breaking up a sound into its multiple components and putting them on separate faders. Both you and myself, we have, faders in front of us, right? Which definitely changes what you're able to do. And that's become something that's just paramount in what I do. My workflow, I can't do without it anymore. So yeah, I totally back that, man.
Having them is a game changer, so let it be.
Right.
Let it change your game.
Yeah, exactly. Having them is not a game changer if you still just use your mouse for everything.
It's the same game.
Exactly.
Same game.
It's the same game. It just got
same game, dog.
more annoying.
It just got more expensive.
Yeah,
more expensive.
More expensive game. Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah.
Pretty much.
How about you, Ryan O'John?
So mine is an interesting one because I started a mix, or I started a bunch of projects right before the year ended, and then I started one immediately after the new year, and I just wanted to kind of change up some of the approach for how I've been doing things. I've been mixing for so long that I'm comfortable in a lot of things, and I just kind of do them. I know what they do, I know what they sound like, but I do them just because I'm used to doing them. as opposed to because it is always the best thing for what it is I'm working on. And a lot of that is compression related. And a lot of that compression is not necessarily for dynamic level control, but instead it's for tonality. But I've kind of changed that. And what I wanted to do is use fewer compressors and use them very specifically for a purpose. Meaning, like, if I want to get, harmonic saturation, I could use a compressor to do it. But I could also just use a saturator to do it. So actually, I just finished a mix and I submitted it over to a band, and the dudes were all just like, "This is crazy punchy and it's super clear and gnarly." And I swear, there's maybe 8 compressors across, I think, 60 tracks in the session.
That's great.
And actually, both of you guys have heard it, so it's. I mean, you can tell me what you think of it.
Sounds really good.
It sounds.
It's legit.
It sounds open. It sounds like a real drummer playing in a room. It sounds intense. Whereas I know as some of the other stuff I've done where I've just put compressors all over the place. Yes, maybe it's more controlled, but it does sound more produced and less real. Yes. Totally. So that's it for me.
So those are our mixing resolutions for 2017. What are your mixing resolutions for 2017? Ooh. We want to know them. Leave a comment below in our YouTube channel that you can subscribe to and tell us what they are, or leave a comment in our Facebook group. That's just www.mixwednesday.com, and post your question, and we'll hopefully answer them in one of these videos. That's it until next week, and keep on mixing, guys. See you later.
Peace.
Later. Meow.